Roll Tide, everybody. Welcome to the Bama Tailgate Show, brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. Time to hit Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, the Azaleas, the Oaks, two amazing golf courses that are right there on campus. Hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham, Philadelphia, Mississippi. Don't have to have a membership to play those amazing golf courses. Shank and I are here. We're going to talk about Bama, Florida State, a lot of other stuff going on in the world of college football. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. And again, great to have you guys here. Let's go. Roll Tide, everybody. There he is. Shank looking good. Coach Shank. We'll call you Coach Shank today. I'm ready to run out there and coach up some offensive linemen. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure that you get in the comment section and are a subscriber and commenter to the show. So we're closing in on the start of Alabama football. Here we are 16 days away from Bama and Florida State. This is going to be a tough game to me. I mean, no one's picking Florida State to win. And that to me is a little concerning. They go out, they get the Gus Bus, who we know gave Saban trouble when he was coaching at Auburn as the offensive coordinator. Both teams with new quarterbacks. Bama has a lot of guys that are returning. The offensive line being pretty experienced. I think the fact that they have Parker Brailsford, to me, having an experienced center, something that's underrated. And I think that Bama can really build around that. Why is the center position so important?
Because, Mick, in my mind, the hardest position to play on the field, offensive line. And, and if we want to be specific, we're talking the center spot. It's offensive line in general because you got to get 5 guys going in the right direction. You got to be on one accord. And it has to be a consistent amount of execution. It can't just be, we're on one accord this play, then next play. If you want good offensive line play, man, you're looking at grading out 80, 85 and above. Yeah. And so that center spot gets everybody aligned. Second hardest position to play is the quarterback. Man, I think so because now if O-line has to get 5 guys doing everything right, the quarterback has to depend on 10 guys to get it all right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think the center spot is critical to our success and what we're trying to do this season, man. I always think back to 2015 and having Ryan Kelly at that center spot and just how pivotal of a role he played in our offense and just how good he was, man. He made plays go. He was so quick and strong and he could reach people from wherever. Like the guy was reaching 3 techs from the center spot, dog. Like this was a normal occurrence for him. And he really pushed that O-line to be what it was in 2015. I wholeheartedly believe that. And so with Parker in that spot, I think we need to see much of the same thing. I mean, he has some guys on that unit with him, some trophy watch list guys. And so I think we'll be really good up front this year, man. And I'm thrilled to see what we go out and do.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you're Ty Simpson, you got to be happy that Parker Brailsford is your center. Because Absolutely. You're right, Ryan Kelly, one of the all-time greats, and I can't tell you how many times I've heard Jay Coker talk about a Ryan Kelly story. You were right alongside Ryan Kelly. You guys won the Joe Moore Award. You guys won a national championship. And I feel like the years where Alabama struggled, the center spot has kind of been in there. I mean, think about Seth McLaughlin. He did a lot of things right. Look, the guy had a ton of talent, but him and Milroe couldn't get on the same page with the snaps.
Yeah.
And that cost that team maybe a national championship.
And it was tough, man. It was tough to see because I honestly think Seth was a really good center. He was a good talent. He went on to Ohio State to win a national championship, and he did well for himself there. I think he ended up getting injured. But to go from a place like Bama to Ohio State is definitely not a talent issue, right? It's tail of the tape. We knew he could play. It's unfortunate that him and Milroe could never get on the same page, man, but I don't even put it on those two. I mean, the offense as a whole last season just seemed discombobulated and out of sense, It was never really clicking the way it should have clicked. I mean, you watch the first half of that Georgia game and you were thinking, God, we're gonna hang 60 plus on these guys, and then come out second half and stall out. Um, and so it was an entire offense as a whole. I mean, obviously, with Seth being at the center spot, it's more obvious when they have issues, right? But man, I think he was a really good talent, and but I'm excited for Ty, man, because it's not too often you get to step into a starting quarterback spot and you got a pretty good O line in front of you, right?
Yeah.
My guy's walking into a pretty good team around him, and so the ball's in his court. Um, just like just like Grubb said, man, as long as he's continued to take care of the ball and command the huddle and lead this offense, we're gonna be really good. We're gonna be really good. And he has that experience. He's seen some amazing guys before him get to play that QB spot, and I think it's his turn. I hope he takes that combination of everything he's learned and put it on show for the world to see, man.
Yeah. Well, Bama's going to need him. This offense is one where they really depend on the quarterback to do a lot of different things. I don't feel like Jalen Milroe was ever if you call it a system quarterback, not the system that you saw. And I love Michael Penix. Look, I know Michael Penix has been on my radar since these guys were at Indiana. I remember that season and kind of what they brought to the table.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go from that to that to that to that, right? You got a lot of stuff going on with this offense. They keep talking about Michael Penix. Michael Penix could throw the hell out of the ball,
Right.
And before he had the split, like the second knee injury, he could run too. But the last few years, and including Washington's team that got to the national championship, that it wasn't a running Michael Penix. It was a passing, really quick offense, passing, not afraid to go down the field, attacking style of offense with Grubb. And I know that that's what they're going to want to see out of this, Ty Simpson in this offense.
Yeah, you know what else they had at Washington that we really want to see? A run game. They had a really good run game that went with that pass game, man. So, I'm not saying that we got to be 75-25 run pass or anything like that, but I'd like to see more balance. I'd like to see us put the ball on the ground more and kind of set the tone for games, because the issue with the pass game is, man, when you try things and they don't work out, now you're behind the sticks. Now guys are down and out because we're 3 and out. But with that run game, you let those big behemoths up front lean on people, and come fourth quarter, you're talking a different ball game, because who wants to take Caden Proctor, 360 pounds, whatever he is, leaning on him for 4 quarters in the game, man? You get into rush attempt number 35 in the fourth quarter. It's just like, golly, I gotta take this guy on again. And so I think we need to get back to more of that dominant run game style of play, because I feel like we control games better that way. Our defense was allowed to play faster that way because they weren't on the field the whole game. Um, and it just worked out better for us that way, especially in this conference. I mean, I get it. Everybody wants to throw the ball now. That's the name of the game. But at the end of the day, you gotta have a run game to make that deep playoff run, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, you're right. I feel like this, Shank. I think they made the decision that Ty Simpson officially is the quarterback, because now it's time to start focusing on attacking this Florida State team. Mike
Absolutely.
Norvell is a good coach, and he was in Alabama's conversation to be the guy to replace Nick Saban. And they went with the board, but Norvell had an undefeated team going into the college football playoff.
All right.
They didn't make it. You guys know the story.
Yeah.
Bama got in, they didn't. Then all the guys on the team transferred. I kind of feel like this is a shift now, right? Where we start to think about Florida State. How far out, when you're like playing that first game, and you've been part of a lot of these game plans, do you go from, hey, we're just doing the fundamentals, we're trying to figure out where everybody is, to, hey, it's time to start thinking about what we're going to do against the first opponent?
No, that fundamental shit was over as soon as camp started. Because now everybody's at war. It's the fall is here. It's about that time of the year where that knot in your stomach is starting to grow because you're getting anxious. That first game is creeping up. I think summertime is for all the smaller things. Once you get to camp, we're trying to create a polished product, right? Because now we're trying to get ready for the big season. It's time for the big leagues. You went against your teammates all year. I mean, all the time you had all this time to get better. And so now, man, it's time to see who wants to be on the field the most. And something Saban always said is just like anytime guys have position battles, he's gonna pick the guy that's gonna make me start him. And you know, you want to be that guy, you have to make me start you because we know he puts the 11 best on the field the entire time. So man, once fall camp hit, it's just like a switch flips in your head and nothing else matters. You're locked in. There's no outside noise. Um, and you're trying to go out there and prove yourself still. And you want to be one of those guys that get on the field on Saturday nights. Um, Whether it be special teams, like hell, I started my career off being a PAT field goal guy. And I was cool with that. I'm running on the field. I'm getting to travel. I'm being a part of the team, and that meant a lot to me, man. So, hey, we're at that point now where we're trying to lock in those lineups, and you know, I'm glad they finally named Todd a starter because, like I said before, that's a huge confidence booster for him, man. You know, he's not going into the season wondering, are they going to turn their backs on me? Am I their guy? Are they going to give me a fair shot? And I think they are. And so, I'm excited to see what's going on.
Yeah, me too. I'm totally with you. All right, let me ask you this. Right now there is a gambling scandal at Oklahoma, right? John Mateer is their quarterback. He transferred from Washington State, and he comes in with a ton of accolades. And basically, the allegations are screenshots of Mateer's Venmo account from November 2022, where he was at Washington State. Showed 2 transactions sent from a former teammate referencing sports gambling, including one that specifically mentioned UCLA and versus USC game. And Mateer's saying, hey, look, it was an inside joke, nothing to worry about. But they take this stuff really seriously. I mean, you know, there's a lot of bad players out there as far as like people that would love to compromise the game or, you know, for players having inside knowledge of the game. When you were playing, did you ever run into any of this stuff? You guys weren't even paid back then, legally anyway. You know, I'm sure people got paid, but not, you know, not you, but you know, in general, like it was happening. But you know, having access to, you know, you can go to Pearl River and go to the sports book. You know, a lot of states you can gamble on apps. You know, you don't have to go out to Vegas anymore. And Bama had a baseball coach that was fired in a scandal, right?
Right.
Did you guys ever encounter any of that stuff? And did you ever hear of any of that? And how relevant do you think this is?
I mean, me personally, man, I never heard of anything like that with our teams. I mean, we had other issues, but it wasn't a gambling thing.
Right.
You know, and I think now it's more of an issue now than ever because there's so much access to it, dog. And then, you know, we got NIL now, so these players are touching more money they've ever seen before.
Yeah.
And so I get it. If high school kids are putting in picks trying to hit, you know, I can only imagine a guy got a few thousand to blow, right?
Yeah.
And so he go try his luck. But I don't think there's a place for that in the game, man. You can see the NBA and see all the gambling scandals that's going on there. You know, all the backdoor deals, point save, and all that kind of stuff going on. I mean, college football has already been turned on its head with the whole NIL situation, and I feel like we're trying to get it back to a certain standard. And so I don't think there's any place for that type of stuff in the game right now, man. It doesn't do us any good, and it only harms the game further.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's something that they have to police. You know, I say, I was talking to Coker about this on our show. The Tennessee game, the year that Bryce Young and Alabama lost, the Kool-Aid, you know, flag on the interception from a guy 40 yards downfield.
Right.
The Bryce Young getting hit, illegal hit. They review it. They don't call it. It was just such a weird. The entire thing was weird to me. And who knows if it was, you know, for all we know, there's nothing. It was just bad officiating, right?
Right.
But it was enough where I feel like it's worth keeping an eye on.
No, absolutely. I mean, there were NBA refs that got caught cheating games, right? And
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
I mean, if you catch one, you can catch more than that, because if that guy's bold enough to do it on a professional level, what makes you think guys won't do it on this level? You know?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I mean, it's just like any profession, man. You got good apples, you got bad apples. And it has to be police, because you can't let the bad ones ruin the game that everybody's loved for so long. Um, and my thing, man, you just like let's keep it an honest game. Let's keep it an honest game. It's just like it's enough money trading hands already.
yeah,
It has enough issues already to deal with. Transfer portal, we need better legislation on NIL. And so this is the last thing we need to add to the pile of issues with college football right now.
yeah, yeah. I agree, man. Well, look, great show. Always good to see you, Shank. Let's get back together
Absolutely.
again as we march towards kickoff against Florida State. You guys hanging out. I want to tell you that, first off, check out our promo code at New Life Art. Shank got his picture
Yes,
of
sir.
Kenyon Drake diving for the end zone. He's also got the championship rings too. You guys, Bama Tailgate, get you 20% off at newlifeart.com, so you can pimp out your man cave. And again, we are presented by Pearl River Resort, Golden Moon, and Silver Star Casino over there in Philadelphia, Mississippi. The golf course is Dancing Rabbit, the Azaleas, the Oaks. Jake Coker and I are going to be there the middle of next week. We love going and hanging out. I think you will too. It's right in that Birmingham, Tuscaloosa corridor. Like I said, hour and a half away. They got everything you need. All right, guys, thanks for hanging. Roll Tide, and we got Florida State and Alabama dead ahead. Talk to you soon.
Roll Tide.
Escape to Pearl River Resort.